To understand the stakes, imagine if at the beginning of the last century, our nation had failed to embrace electricity and yielded that transformative advantage to our competitors. The consequences would have been devastating. The strategic competition in AI with People's Republic of China is intensifying.
Boy, the former chief of staff for H.R. McMaster speaking there, talking about the devastating consequences if the U.S. doesn't embrace AI, much like it did electricity. That part of a hearing this week that determined that Congress really has to make sure the federal government has the tools to deploy AI effectively. And for more on this, we want to welcome in NetChoice Director of Public Policy, Patrick Hedger. Always great to have you, my friend. You are one of the smartest guys I know on this storyline, and I want to get your take on more of what the former chief of staff had to say. This idea that people are sort of wanting to wade into the waters gently when we really need to be running headlong. Listen to this.
I think we have to work really closely with them to remove obstacles, because I think the challenge we face ahead of us is that if we don't find a common language and build common security protocols, I think we would have a different world by the end of this decade. You know, a world in which CCP will probably have access to all our data, the entire global infrastructure will depend on the CCP, and the companies subsidized by Chinese. So we have to find ways to remove these obstacles.
As one of my friends on the Hill said to me, Patrick, this is akin to the space race with the Russians or with the Soviets back in the day. We got to get in this fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's no better example than what we just saw in the news this week with the Ukrainians targeting the Russian strategic bomber fleet, taking out a leg of the Russian nuclear stool with AI-trained and AI-targeted drones. Yeah. So AI is going to be very important for national security, and I couldn't agree more with those comments. We ultimately need Congress to pass a national data privacy and data security standard, so that way the American companies that are building AI right now know the standards that they need to build to and can get into the business of innovating instead of dealing with red tape.
This is cybersecurity expert Bruce Schneier, and he says, frankly, the damage has already been done because of this bottleneck, this battle between the federal and the state governments. I'm not so sure you will agree, but I want to get your take. Listen to this.
Irreparable damage has already been done, but the damage is ongoing. 2015, China hacked OPM, stole data about all federal workers. That was a major security breach. Continuous real-time access to data is much more dangerous. The longer these vulnerabilities persist, the more adversaries will be able to manipulate data and install backdoors. The more they'll be able to manipulate the AIs we're creating.
That's the real issue here, is they're not going to stop. If you think espionage is a big deal in the pre-AI world, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think Hollywood tends to get a lot of things wrong about AI, but something that they got right about AI is that if somebody has bad AI working against you, you're going to want one on your side, like you see in the Terminator franchise. And that's why it's so important that we stay ahead on AI innovation, right? This idea that we're going to be able to pause AI development here in the United States to let regulation keep up is ridiculous, because China is not subject to U.S. regulation. They're going to keep on pressing ahead. And what we have seen over and over again, whether they are lying, cheating, or stealing, China is still able to build and deploy AI models that are just as sophisticated as the ones being produced by American companies.
In the 15 or so seconds we have left, what's the #1 step we have to take, and now?
Well, one of the major steps that I think this government needs to take is stop attacking America's leading AI innovators. Think about NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google. All of these companies are either under active antitrust investigation or litigation. Get that out of the way so that they can work on innovating for the future.
My man, always great to see you. Appreciate your time, Patrick.
Thanks for
Thank you
having me.
so much, Patrick Hedger.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.